Welcome to the Pot.Live Insider. I am your host, Luke Rowan, and I will be your guide as we dig in together and learn about what's going on in the cannabis industry. We are going to have some fun here as we learn about the business of cannabis, the science, the culture, where it has come from, and where it's going. I'm going to wade out into the waters and scoop up bucketfuls of information and bring it back here to break it down with you and take you along with me as I learn. If you want bite-sized information about cannabis on a variety of topics so you can impress your coworkers or the stranger sitting a bit too close to you on the bus, then the Pot.Live Insider episodes are for you. Let's get this thing started. Let's go inside.
Have you checked out the new MJ.com? That's right, a two-letter domain in the cannabis industry, and it's the only one. It's got everything you need. You can get the latest news, articles, trends, information from business insiders, business leaders, political, medical, professional, whatever you need is right at MJ.com. You can shop on their marketplace for all the top brands, including the newly released full spectrum CBD product line from MJ.com. And don't forget the new MJ VIP membership platform, where you can have insider access behind the curtain of all the top features in the industry, discounts, free items, everything that you could only get by being a VIP member at MJ.com. Check us out.
Welcome to the Pot.Live Insider. I am Luke Rowan, and I am excited to bring you along today and go inside on this article that I recently read, turning a few things in history on its head and seeing about what would happen if the United States ended cannabis prohibition in 1933 instead of alcohol. So dig this. The U.S. ended alcohol prohibition in 1933. But what if it had been pot? Cannabis was outlawed in 1937. Alcohol was legal, national prohibition had just ended, and these laws really shaped the culture and society for nearly a century now, and in ways that we're really only beginning to understand. So what if alcohol had been the substance that was banned after 1937? Would people still drink glasses of wine with dinner, or would we be pairing cannabis with our appetizers? Check this out. Imagine it's 1937, and government agencies, instead of releasing the Reefer Madness video, produce a video called Spirits and Sanity. The tagline would be, "How alcohol rots your body and can cause death." Today we know cannabis is less toxic than alcohol. It's actually 114 times less toxic. That's according to a 2015 paper in Scientific Reports. Dr. Jordan Tischler says alcohol is poison. He's a Harvard-educated MD who spoke at the New England Cannabis Convention in Boston, Massachusetts. He spent the last 5 years researching the effects of cannabis on the human body. So esteemed researchers like this and many others are leading the charge towards full legalization. This movement is sweeping the world. In fact, in the June meeting of the World Health Organization, their leaders urged the reclassification of CBD and reported in November 2018 that CBD poses no danger to the public and has shown great promise as a seizure reduction medication for patients with epilepsy. So in September of 2018, the US DEA rescheduled CBD to a Schedule 5 drug so Epidiolex can be distributed to epileptic patients. And it is the first non-synthetic cannabis-derived drug to be available in the USA. So thanks to the 54% who voted yes to question 4 in 2016, now we're seeing what's happening with places like Massachusetts who have now opened up for adult use. When they first opened, in the first 5 days of operation, there were 2 dispensaries that did over $2 million in sales in those first 5 days. Of course, there's also medicinal programs in Massachusetts. This has been in place for the last 3 years or so with just under 50,000 patients that are actively involved. So programs like this around the states are expected to generate billions of dollars in this industry over the next coming years. Now, about that word, marijuana. Its origin in the U.S. is traced to a Mexican folk or slang name for the cannabis plant, but it was fueled by the media mogul and documented racist publisher William Randolph Hearst. It was his quote-unquote yellow journalism that drove the propaganda campaign that led to the 1937 marijuana law that banned the substance with a federal law. And it was his money that backed the production of Reefer Madness. That movie helped to create the anti-cannabis culture that is still in existence today. Hearst was a businessman who owned timberland that made paper for his newspapers. His motivation, of course, was greed and also racist because he wanted to protect his holdings from the development of hemp and cannabis products he saw as only used by quote-unquote immigrants and black people. His controlling interest in the newspapers created the fake news that targeted the already existing racist practices in that time and helped to solidify the laws of segregation in the South and the Western states known as quote-unquote Jim Crow. So back to the beginning, the opening premise of what if alcohol was the drug that was banned in 1937? Let's say that the vote in 2016 was to legalize alcohol for the first time. Now it would be homemade stills would be the equivalent to the homegrown gardens. And imagine that all the liquor stores that you see would be pot shops instead of liquor stores. Local bars would be cannabis clubs and bar fights wouldn't have even happened yet. Restaurants would be serving cannabis-infused desserts instead of rum or brandy. The Napa Valley in California would be a hemp and cannabis growing community, not wine. And that has already begun. Wow, super interesting to see the origins of the anti-cannabis to the anti-cannabis culture. And where it all began was from business. William Randolph Hearst didn't want to lose money to the development of hemp. He saw that as a threat to his paper, which it definitely was. This is a very interesting article. This particular article was written by Jimmy Young with CLNS Media Network and is published on the MJ.com website. You can find it there to dig in more. The link to the article will be in the show notes. And I hope you guys liked hearing this little bit of cannabis culture, this history. And join me again next time on the Pot.Live Insider to learn another little piece of what's going on in the cannabis industry. Your coworkers' jaws will be on the floor when you drop this piece of information on them tomorrow. And we'll talk to you again on the next Pot.Live Insider. Pot.Live is your destination online and on the app. You can download it right now. All of the digital media content you can handle, articles, videos, podcasts, comedy, education, lifestyle, everything at Pot.Live.